June 2002, the CEO of WorldCom stands in front of his employees and tells them the company is bankrupt. $11 billion of fraud. Gone. Just like that. 3 months earlier, Enron had collapsed in what everyone called the biggest corporate fraud in history. Everyone was wrong. WorldCom was bigger. Way bigger. And somehow, most people have completely forgotten about it. This is the story of how a small Mississippi phone company became a $70 billion empire built entirely on lies. The name you need to remember is Bernard Ebbers. He started as a high school basketball coach. No business degree, no tech experience, just raw ambition and a willingness to do whatever it took. In 1983, Ebbers and some investors bought a tiny long-distance company in Mississippi. They called it LDDS. Nothing special. But Ebbers had a plan. Buy other phone companies, merge them, get bigger, keep buying, keep merging, grow at any cost. And it worked. Through the 90s, WorldCom went on a buying spree, swallowing competitors left and right. The stock price kept climbing. Wall Street loved them. By 1997, they bought MCI Communications for $37 billion, the largest corporate merger in U.S. history at the time. Bernard Ebbers became a billionaire, a media darling, hailed as the man who revolutionized telecommunications. But behind the magazine covers, there was one fatal problem. The company wasn't actually making money. See, every time WorldCom bought a company, they took on massive debt. To keep Wall Street happy, they needed to show profits, growing profits, every single quarter. The profits weren't there.
So they made them up. Here's how the fraud worked. It was almost stupidly simple. WorldCom had normal expenses, like paying for access to other phone networks. These are called line costs. Companies are supposed to report these as expenses. It reduces your profit, but it's honest accounting. WorldCom CFO, Scott Sullivan, had a different idea. Don't call them expenses. Call them capital expenditures, investments in the company. The difference is huge. An expense reduces your profit now. A capital expenditure gets spread out over years, making your profits look massive. They took billions in regular costs and just moved them to a different column. Boom. Instant fake profits. $3.8 billion in 2001 alone. And it worked for years. The stock kept rising, Ebbers kept buying, Wall Street kept cheering. But then the dot-com bubble burst. The telecom industry collapsed. WorldCom's real business started hemorrhaging money, and they couldn't hide it with accounting tricks anymore. In March 2002, a woman named Cynthia Cooper starts digging. She's WorldCom's internal auditor. Something in the books doesn't add up. She starts investigating at night, in secret, afraid of what she'll find. She finds everything. $3.8 billion in fake profits? She keeps digging. $7 billion, then $11 billion. $11 billion of made-up money. She goes to the board of directors with the evidence. They have no choice.
June 25, 2002. WorldCom announces the fraud. The stock crashes. 30,000 employees lose their jobs. Investors lose everything. The company declares the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history. It makes Enron look small. Bernard Ebbers claimed he didn't know. He said his CFO handled the numbers. The jury didn't buy it. In 2005, Ebbers was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. He served 13 years before dying in 2020. Scott Sullivan, the CFO who cooked the books, he cooperated. He got 5 years. Here's what's so wild about WorldCom. Enron was complex, shell companies, complicated schemes. WorldCom was simple. They just lied about basic expenses. They moved numbers from one column to another. That's it. $11 billion of fraud, with a method you learn in first-year accounting, and they almost got away with it. If Cynthia Cooper hadn't risked her career to expose the truth, it would have kept going. 30,000 people lost their jobs. Retirement funds evaporated. WorldCom is gone now. Verizon bought the pieces, but the lesson remains. That growth at any cost eventually means fraud. $11 billion, bigger than Enron, and somehow people forgot. Not anymore.